Love it. Okay, here I go. I'm going to share my screen because that's how I have to roll today. Let me get up in here and see if I can have, there we go. So I am not able to see folks while I'm sharing, but I'm hoping that I can break away and see you at the end. Welcome everyone to my session. I am Dia Bondi. We are here to talk about how to ask for more with generosity in the 20 minutes we have with one another. All of the content that I'm sharing with you today came from a crazy project that was born actually out of our Ask Give tradition at SheEO. We're called Ask Like an Auctioneer. And I'm going to give you just a little sense of what that is in just a bit. So I'm going to X out really quick, make sure everyone can see me and everything is working just fine. It looks like it is, so yay for me. All right, so today, just know that Project Ask Like an Auctioneer is something that has a goal. It has a goal of helping 1 million women ask for more and get it, and importantly, use asking as a success strategy. And the mission of the project is to put more money and decision-making power in the hands of women so we can change everything for all of us. It's not just getting more for the sake of itself. Now, here's a question I'd like to just drop into the chat for you really quickly. When we hear the words ask for more, what might come to mind? For some folks, this can feel a little bit icky or feeling like it's something that has got a lot of grabby energy to it, or it's about accumulation and getting mine. But what I want to challenge today is that idea and instead show you how you can ask for more and do it from a place of generosity. We have asking and giving. Making an ask means somebody's going to give, and so there are two sides to this coin, two sides that that allows for us to actually have a connection in the middle. So today we're going to talk about asking for more and with generosity. And when I think about asking for more, what am I talking about? Well, lots of folks will sometimes ask me, oh, you mean your Ask for More and Get It project? Isn't that all about negotiation? And well, yes, it is about negotiation for the things that we think typically belong to negotiation, like salary and dollars in the contract. What I found since I launched Project Ask Like an Auctioneer is that women ask for more of what they need to reach their goals that fall into 4 different categories. Actually, there's 5 here because that last one is a little bit of a bonus and sort of underpins all of it. Yes, women can ask for more money to resource their dreams to reach their goals, whether their financial goals or their dreams and goals need financing to come alive and to come into the world. Authority, and this, when I think of authority, it's not just about promotion in our jobs. It's about being the author of our own destiny, in some cases, really owning decisions. It can be about influence, which is about visibility, putting yourself on a platform so that more can be impacted by what you're working on. It can be about mentorship and sponsorship by the people that can help elevate you and the work that you're doing. It can be about balance, and I see so often, I'm not just hearing women make asks that are about work-life balance, they're about bringing into balance our external context and our internal selves so that the life that we're living is actually a reflection and in balance with who we actually are. And underneath all of this, I hear women asking for what they need, asking for more because they want to have more fun in their lives, whether it is about the work that they do or the play that they do, about the adventures they do, or just their everyday lifestyle. Women want more fun, and we can make the strategic asks that help us have more fun in our lives. I posit this: we hate doing it. And we're doing it mostly wrong. Asking is one of the most overlooked and avoided success strategies out there. And I want you to ask, and ask big enough that you never leave any money or opportunity on the table ever. Now, let's talk about asking for more. I'm going to share with you just the teeny tiny beginnings of the ideas inside Project Ask Like an Auctioneer. If you go to SheEO.world, I think in one of our learning circles, we hosted a session called Your Most Powerful Ask. And in there, you can find all the ideas tied to helping you ask for more and get it. Today, we're going to talk about how to ask for more and then how to do it with generosity. I want to start by saying this. This is This is something, a meme that you've maybe seen floating around the internet, and it's something I really love and hold dear because it creates space for me to be as big and as bold as I need to be to resource my own dreams. And I hope it will be useful to you. And I just wanted to set the tone for when I think about asking for more, in a way that lets you hold on to who you really are. And it goes like this. You will be too much for some people. Those, guess what, are not your people. Yes, you will be too much for some people. You will make the asks that are just too much. And that's okay. That's not an invitation to make yourself or your asks smaller. It's an invitation to just go around, because guess what? Those may not be your people, your partners, your clients, your investors. So we will be too much for some people. That's okay. They're just not our people. So who am I? I am a longtime leadership communications coach for nearly 2 decades. I have helped leaders, entrepreneurs, and founders at the most critical communications moments in their careers and businesses find the courage to speak from the heart so that they can move audiences in such a way that it helps action their goals. And I've had a great opportunity to work with the Clinton Global Initiative. I was a speaker coach for 2 Olympic bidding cities, thousands of backstage sessions with technologists, people in the world of everywhere from product to entrepreneurship. I've executed, I can imagine, almost 7,000 one-on-one coaching sessions over the course of my career, and it just doesn't get old. But a few years ago, I did take a break. I took a little bit of a working sabbatical and turned my attention inward to figure out, what do I want to do now? What matters to me now? Who am I now? And in that time, my husband reminded me that I had something on my bucket list, and that was to go to auctioneering school. You can DM me on Instagram at Dia Bondi for the whole story if you want to hear it. But let's just say I packed my bags. I went to the center of the United States, and me and 100 cowboys learned how to live auction everything from livestock to art to real estate. And now, as a hobby, I do fundraising auctioneering for women-led nonprofits and nonprofits that benefit women and girls. Now, here's the thing. Those 2 worlds crashed together for me one night when I was falling asleep and looking and reflecting on my career and life and how that might have merged with my wild new hobby of auctioneering. And here's the thing. The last 2 decades, my clients come to me and they say, Dia, I need to write a story for my time on stage. Whether it's a big stage or a little stage, either way, it's high stakes. And when I hear their story, I'll often say, great story. What are you asking for? This comes in the form of something you might be familiar with, which we've called a CTA, or a call to action, which is our business speak for my ask. And so often, I love what they'll say. Great, you're asking for headcount, investment, mentorship, participation in a standards body, volunteers for what you're working on, contributions, whatever the thing might be. But help me understand, how much of that thing are you asking for? How much headcount, how much budget, how much investment, how much of a raise might you be asking for? And that is when I don't often get an answer, when instead is I get a lot of hand-wringing. I get a lot of, well, I don't really know. What I need is this amount, but maybe I'm not sure they'd ever go for that. So maybe if I do this, if I cut it in half and then supplement it with this other thing, then maybe I can get to where I need to go. What I get is a lot of hand-wringing and questioning what the right thing is to ask for. And it eventually lands us on this question, Dia, what do you think I can get? And for years, I was co-conspiring with my clients and saying, yes, what a beautiful question. What do you think you can get? Let's ask for that. And I didn't realize that this left a lot of money and opportunity on the table. I didn't realize it until I started my crazy hobby of fundraising auctioneering. What do we do in the world? We usually form our asks to get a yes. Now, here's how I imagine, here's the model I have in my mind. On the horizontal axis, you have courage, and on the vertical axis, you've got asks. So how much we can ask for is kind of dependent on how much courage we can muster. And really often I've noticed that for years we've been shaping our asks that say, okay, well, if I can muster just the right amount of courage to make this kind of ask because I'm pretty sure I can get it. And so we target a number that says, look, I'm willing to ask this and I can find enough courage for it because I'm 89.5% sure I can get a yes to it. I'm 95% sure I can get a yes to it. I'm 78.5% sure I can get a yes to it. And a yes feels good. Fair point. But what about all these other increments above that guaranteed yes we think we're going to get? What about all those other increments? Why don't we ask for those? Now, I'm talking about money, but I'm talking about so many other things we need to resource our dreams, to fuel our businesses, and to make us successful in our pursuits. Why don't we ask for those? And we don't ask for them because they all live in the place I like to call the zone of freaking out. It's that zone where maybe you're going to ask for a raise at this much, and I invite you to just click it up another 20%, and all of a sudden it's a no-go zone. We all know that feeling, that tight throat, that sort of feeling like you just swallowed a penny right at the top of your stomach. Yes, those numbers live in the zone of freaking out, or what I like to call the ZOFO. And true, at the very top of the ZOFO, there is a no. But if we're courageous enough to reach and actually threaten getting a no, and in fact, touch the no to get a no, and then negotiate our way down a few clicks, we can end up at a yes. It is a perfect equilibrium between what somebody or something, an entity, an investment group, whatever it might be, a perfect equilibrium between their yes and the ask that you made. We're all happy, and you've ended up with more of what you need to resource your dreams. So my invitation to you is do exactly as we do as auctioneers. We ask in order to get a no. And in fact, as auctioneers, we can't even sell anything until we hit a no. That's the signal that I have maximized the opportunity of that ask. Now, quickly, in my last 7 minutes, this is exactly what I want you to do. I want you to materially anticipate what you think you might get a no to and go for it. Maybe you're asking the SheEO community to amplify your voice through likes and reshares, but maybe what it is that you really need is to ask the SheEO community to nominate you for an award that will grow your visibility 10 times that amount. So we've got to aim for what do we think threatens a no and lean into that. The issue is, yes, you can ask for more. How do we do it, though, without it feeling like we're just taking? Again, asking and giving is a system that one lives and works with the other. They're in relationship with one another. So now I'd like to talk about how do I ask for more? This is a question I get all the time in my workshops and in my keynotes. Yes, great, I know what I want to go for, but how do I actually do it so it doesn't feel like a taking, but instead feels like something generative? Here's my answer to that question. You can use a simple little formula I like to call, I see you, you see me, here's my ask. I see you, notice it starts with the other party, not with you. Now I'll give you a chance to see me, and here's my ask I'm about to make that matters to both of us. This tiny formula allows you to go from a cursor in that email where you know you have to make that ask and gives you a place to start writing. It gives you your opening words as you approach somebody in conversation. And for me in auctioneering, it gives me a place to start and get into relationship to align with my audiences when I'm just about to ask them for a direct pledge. I see you looks like this. You can see this image here of me standing on stage and spending time in front of an audience for Dress for Success in the United States, where we fundraise for helping women get back on their feet and elevated in the Bay Area. And the first thing I have to say, they don't know me. I'm about to make a huge ask. $25,000 donation, $10,000 donation, $50,000 donation. And who am I? They don't know. But what they do need to know is that I see them. I stand on stage in that first moment and use this little formula I'm sharing with you, which is to say, I see you. I see what you value. I see why you're here. I see the work that you do and the contributions that you make as being part of this invitation list, part of this community. I see why you show up tonight. I see what matters to you, and I see the impact that you're having. And then give them an opportunity to see me. Now, let me share with you who I am. Here's what I value and what's important to me. Here's what my work looks like in the world and the impact I'm trying to have. And here's the mission that I am on. And from that platform of I see you, now you can see me, we can start to unearth the alignments so that when you make the ask, it is a movement together towards shared goals. Now, yes, this takes a fair bit of storytelling and a fair bit of courage, but what it does do is it shows how your ask is not a take, but instead is an opportunity to give back to your askee what they desire most in the world. Because inside of every ask is an offer for them to live their own values, an offer for them to action what matters to them, for an offer for them to see themselves through you, an opportunity to have the impact that they want, whether it's squarely in their named ambitions, or if it is something that is a side note to what they do every day. When you can acknowledge that and not just use it, but come to it with some truth, to use it as a platform for aligning the ask to the give they're about to make. And when we can do that, we can create a reciprocal relationship between the asks we make and the gives that come to us. When we do that, we can see that the bigger our ask, the more meaningful our ask, the bigger the offer, and the more meaningful the offer is inside of the ask you are making in that moment. So yes, we can ask for more with generosity, with truth, with substance, with alignment, with courage, and most importantly, with connection, because the big, bold, courageous ask I make can be an opportunity for you to give in a way that is aligned with what matters to you. I want to share this last little quote I love from Brene Brown, which says, "Only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of our light. Only when we are able to ask with no guarantees of the answer that we give can we discover what's actually possible in that little intersection between the ask you make and the give someone offers." Now, my name is Dia Bondi. You can find me anywhere on the interwebs. DiaBondi.com is the best place to find me. And you can always email me directly at hello@DiaBondi.com. You can find me in the SheEO community for activators and venturists who are around. And I'd be so happy to connect with you, take any questions that you might have. And I am going to stop sharing and pass our last 2 minutes over into the chat, so that I can see what questions you might have. And if you have one in the chat, I'd be happy to take it right now. Great, love it. Excellent, thank you. Great, thanks so much. You support students and youth, I love it. Thank you so much for being with me today. I love seeing. If you have any questions, you can direct message me on Instagram at Dia Bondia, or you can find me on the interwebs at diabondi.com. How do you determine what you need to ask for? I love this question. Here's a tiny little formula to give you. Now, when I say I want women to ask for more and get it and use asking as a success strategy, we do have to ask ourselves, what might I ask for? Here's a little 3-step you can use. Number 1, what is a concrete midterm goal that you have on deck right now? For the nonprofit you're running, for your adventure in your career, for something you're doing at school. What is the one mid-concrete goal that you have? Second step, what is the next big move you need to make that goal come to life? I want to reach 1 million women with this content. My next big move is to write the book. Now, if you identify what is the big goal and the big move, then you can ask, what kinds of asks could I make to help action that big move? Now, in my case, I want to write the book. So I've got asks to agents that feel, and my big version of the ask are the agents that feel bigger than what I allowed to ask for. Maybe it's my community to connect with other potential publishers, etc. So what is your goal? What is your big move you need to make to action that goal? And what are the asks you could make? And then who might you ask them of? Thank you so much for being with me today. I hope that answer gave you a little bit of insight into something you can do to start using asking as a success strategy in your life and careers, and much, much generosity to all of you. See you around the bend.